get ready for some more absolute rubbish coming from this video, guys. Today we have GRIPT Media, much loved GRIPT, of course, always showing the best side of Irish media, always reporting on the topics that we really want to hear about, not just like the microphone right next to GRIPT Media, RTE, that is constantly lying to us. This one should be incredible. We have Stephen Donnelly pressed on plan to ban disposable vape flavors. Okay, so they're thinking about banning vapes pretty much entirely. Okay, you know, the whole sort of incentive about having vapes is that they taste good. Oh, I can get, you know, blue raspberry, I can get flipping watermelon, mango, I can taste grapes whenever I smoke this thing, and I also get a hit of tobacco. Okay, it's kind of replaced, and it's kind of the Gen Z of the tobacco industry. Okay, and recently as well, we heard from Simon Harris. He said that vaping is now the revenge of the tobacco industry, which I actually, you know, I find something that I agree with him on. But here's the thing, guys. Just right off the bat, I don't really, you know, agree with banning of anything. I'll talk about it later on in the video, because once you ban flipping cigarettes and smoking and vaping, you know, which isn't good for other people. Okay, I understand, you know, smoking at home is different now. I'm not saying you should be able to smoke around people, because it actually does kill people. I just realized that, you know, that vaping actually does, somebody just told me that that's a report. Vaping actually does give you secondhand smoking, can kill you as well. So it is detrimental to people's health, but smoking at home is fine. If you want to smoke at your own home, on your own property, do what you want, as long as it's not harming other people. But as soon as you start banning cigarettes, smoking, you know, they start saying, no, we're not able to flip and go 15 minutes from our house anymore, these 15-minute cities. You know, we're going to ban flipping drinking. We're going to ban this. We're going to ban that. We're going to ban going to the gym. You know, all of a sudden it just becomes ludicrous, and it's like these arbitrary lines that they create about banning certain things. You know, they're going to start banning video games. Let's start banning violent video games. Let's start banning whatever, guys. Any sort of vice or any sort of thing that the people can't seem to control themselves with is ridiculous. They're banning guns in the US. You know, I don't really like this sort of slippery slope of banning things that, you know, people should have their own personal responsibility with. Anyways, make sure to comment down below, all my beautiful Irish people. We're about to get into this one. It's quite long, so stay tuned. Let's see what he has to say.
Today is taking a pretty radical new approach. So we'll have a full ban on disposable vapes. We'll have a ban on all flavours bar one. Now, a Minister for Health can increase those. We looked at what's happening across Europe. There's 6 countries have bans on flavours. Most of them are down to just tobacco flavour. There's some of them have tobacco and menthol. So that's a pretty radical move. And then plain packaging and restrictions on point of sale, I think, are going to make a big difference as well.
Minister, just on the same issue, obviously the government...
So he said they banned everything apart from menthol. Guys, I went on holidays to America for like a day, a few hours, last summer, okay, summer 2024, about June. I was on the border, guys. I was talking to this border patrol kind of guy, but I was also talking to this kid, and he was working in like the duty free, whatever you call it, but it was on land, right? So we were driving, and I said, man, are these, you can buy menthol cigars and cigarettes? And he goes, yeah. I said, you know, in Ireland they're actually banned. And he goes, what? That's lame, you know, because that would never happen here. Banning stuff, it seems like in countries like the US and Canada, well, actually Canada's pretty bad now actually for banning stuff, but it seems like the US is one of the only quote-unquote free countries left that you can actually sell products and there's not much restriction on it, guys. Of course they restrict stuff, but you know, you can sell food products with like red 40 and dye 40 that have really bad things for you, that actually probably give you cancer, they give you ADHD, they give you sort of mental, cognitive declining abilities, okay? They give you like bad stuff, these additives and these preservatives, you know, they make you overweight, you know, not even to mention that. But it seems like that's one of the only countries that stops it from being banned, because there's a lot of people, guys. I feel like if Ireland had a population 10 times the size as it does, would it be able to ban these things so quickly? Or if we were run by the EU, and if we had our own kind of, you know, independent funding. Oh, upset, guys. I apologize. If we had our own kind of independent funding, would we be able to stop these bans? You know, it's a good question. I think that it probably would stop a lot of these bans, you know, honestly.
Government has recently and today called to ban certain flavours of vapes, called to ban sunbeds, ban phones for under 16s. Obviously,
That's what I'm trying to say, guys. They're banning cigarettes, phones for under 16s, sunbeds. I mean, where does it stop, guys? Banning video games, banning all cars that run on petrol or diesel. Okay, so the banning is just going to keep escalating. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, well, Chris, that doesn't really happen. You know, the slippery slope fallacy is a fallacy. And yeah, it's basic philosophy. But here's the thing, guys. In some instances, it is the case. Okay, we're going to ban South Park. We're going to ban whatever. Okay, to where it gets to a point where we're just a complete nanny state. Everyone has to be on welfare. It's just insane, guys. It's just insane. Where does it stop, you know?
Here we saw the minimum unit alcohol pricing. Most recently, we had many members of the government talking about trying to regulate the price of Oasis tickets.
Stupid.
And I'm just wondering, from the perspective of the Irish public, when it comes to things like the crisis in University Hospital Limerick or the waiting times for scoliosis procedures for children, very serious issues in the area of health, is it not a little bit frivolous for you to spend your time talking about banning and regulating all of these areas of human life, which may or may not be worth banning, but is it your job to do that, I guess is what I'm asking.
I think, thanks for the question, Ben. I think we have to be able to do both.
I love Stephen Donnelly talking to Ben. It's always hilarious. He always says, thanks for the question, Ben. Notice he never addresses RT by name because nobody knows who RT is. The MSN is now the outliers. We are the mainstream media, guys. When I mean me talking independently on the internet. We are the mainstream media, not these other clowns, bro. RT, News Talk, they're clowns, bro. They're all paid for and puppets by the EU and, you know, by the government, of course.
Both. We have to be able to take serious public health measures to keep children safe, and we have to be able to take really decisive action on some of the big patient safety risks we have. Two of which you've mentioned. The overcrowding in UHL is a very serious patient safety risk. The spinal waiting list is something that is being tackled. It's not yet where we wanted to be, but we're putting a lot of extra resource, a lot of extra effort in there. So I think you've got to be able to do both. And in fact, I think the common thread through various of the things you've mentioned there is safety, is public health and patient safety.
But what would you say?
So, like the question he's basically asking him is like, do you think that a lot of these things are frivolous? They're kind of a bit, you know, wasteful to spending our time talking about banning vapes and doing all this other stuff when we have real issues, guys. Kids are flipping dying. Kids are flipping have scoliosis. I mean, these are real issues that aren't being addressed in real time, but they choose to focus their attention and stuff on these, you know, sort of trivial, banning certain flavors of cigarettes and, Chris, do we have to do this? Bro, it just seems like a complete waste of time. I'm like, dude, just leave everything the way it is and just focus on people that are coming to the emergency room and focus on, like, actual, you know, health problems as they come up, guys. You know, like you know, skin cancer and, you know, from the sun. I don't think many people are getting skin cancer from sunbeds. I mean, it just seems like, are there any studies to prove this? Like, are there any, like, correlation studies? Are there any causational studies? It's just very, very weird and very, like, you know, minimum type of studying done around this type of stuff.
To somebody who will be watching this at home saying, but the government isn't doing both because there are some of these problems which have been long-standing for years, like the trolley crisis and the spinal surgery and so on, that's not being fixed. I mean, there's measures being put in place, but obviously there's still a huge issue there, as you admit, of course. And yet the government is running around with these kind of peripheral issues like banning vape flavors. Do you not see how somebody might argue that that's a little bit trivial and not addressing the more substantive issues that need to be solved more urgently, that you shouldn't be concerning your time with this,
Definitely.
for example?
Definitely.
Thanks, Ben. Let me take the two bits separately, if I may. Things like the age at which you can sell cigarettes to people, the age at which you can sell vapes to people, it matters from a public health perspective. You know, we have strong clinical evidence. I speak to, you know, respiratory physicians, you speak to oncologists, cancer doctors, and they're very clear that these measures matter, that these measures can save a lot of lives. So the measures we're taking, the public health measures we're taking, they're important. And
you know, if I was in the government, guys, I would just make stuff like red meat, blueberries. Check it out, guys. Blueberries, red meat, steak, rice. I'd make these really, really cheap because they're very, very healthy. And make all the really crappy food, flipping whatever, Nutri-Grain bars and all this stuff, cereals. I'd make them skyrocket in price. What you have now is blueberries for €5, for 340, for 400 grams of blueberries, €5. I mean, that's just astronomical pricing. I mean, where are they coming up with these prices, guys? That's the real issue, guys. Smoking and stuff. If you smoke, vape, drink loads every single weekend or every flipping day, like some people do, if you don't exercise, if you eat really bad food, I mean, dude, you're just asking to get bad health outcomes. Like, so I wouldn't even be concerned about those people. Those people have made their choice, guys. If you smoke cigarettes all the time, you've made your choice, guys. That's not clearly healthy, okay? Banning vape flavors, this is just trivial bullshit, guys. Let's focus on stuff that actually matters, guys. Let's have gyms really cheap. Let's open more gyms to have more people incentivized to go exercise, you know? Instead, they hike up the price of the gyms now. It's all a flipping monopoly. Like, it's almost like you're part of a club when you go to the gym. Oh, I'm part of this gym. You're part of a gym? When does being part of a gym make you, like, higher status or, like, higher, like, whatever? Like, I'm part of this gym. Like, you're not part of anything. Okay? Like, you think it's a culture. Like, it's a flipping, you know... I don't even know, like a cult, or it's just ridiculous. It's just absolutely ridiculous, guys. This is just ridiculous.
In years to come will save a lot of lives. You know, I think when we look at things like the workplace smoking ban, which came in years ago, I think we would all accept now that that was a meaningful public health measure and has undoubtedly saved an awful lot of lives. So I think the public health measures matter. They are longer term, but I think they do matter. And then when we look at the big pressing urgent issues, and let's take the two you've referenced, waiting lists and trolleys, progress is being made, and it does take time. There is a lot more that needs to be done. If you take the waiting lists, so the waiting lists fell for the last 2 years. Our intention is that by the end of this year they will fall again. Critically, we talk a lot about the number of people waiting, but what really matters and is enshrined in Sláinte Care is the time people are waiting. So the amount of time people is waiting for an outpatient appointment, for example, is falling every year. These are hard yards. There's been a lot of investment and a lot of hard work by our healthcare professionals, but the waiting times are falling. And what we're seeing now in more and more areas, by no means across the country yet, but is really radical falls. So take here in Dublin, people who were referred for cataracts not that long ago were told it would be a 6-year wait. It's now 12 months and falling. Children referred to an eye specialist just a few short years ago were told it was a 2 to 3 year wait. It's now 5 weeks. Women refer. So
some things are falling. Some things are getting better in the industry. Okay, but in the health industry, let's just say.
For to see a gynecologist in Sligo, we're told they'd have to wait 4 years. It's now 4 weeks. So we're by no means there, but the average numbers are falling, and they're falling year on year, and then individual clinical teams are changing the conversation from waiting for years to waiting for months, waiting for weeks. So it is happening, but I fully accept we're turning around a very big tanker, and it does take time. When it comes to the trolleys, again, one of our huge patient safety risks, the number of patients on trolleys this year compared to last year has fallen a lot. Not everywhere. UHL is an outlier in that actually the numbers have shot up, but in most of our other hospitals they've come down very considerably, and that's in spite of a lot more people arriving at the emergency department. So again, there's no room for complacency. It is full steam ahead. We are turning around a big tanker here, and it is working. We have several years to go, but it is now working, and so it's a very long way of saying the public health measures do matter, and the big urgent challenges are being addressed. We'd all love to see them fixed, but it does take time.
So basically giving us no answer except we have to wait longer, guys. We have to wait we have to wait a longer time to flip and get less waiting times in the hospitals. Ridiculous. And I apologize, guys. You know, in Ireland the weather seems to just open up as soon as I do the videos. There's no sun all day every single day, and then as soon as I make these videos there's massive amounts of sun. This is ridiculous, guys. But anyway, hope you all enjoyed that one. GRIPT Media, of course, reporting on the most important aspects of the media, okay? frivolous stuff like banning vapes. You know, I just think this is a slippery slope, guys. They're just gonna start banning everything. Eventually, like, let's be real, guys. They want to ban alcohol, or you need a license to buy alcohol. You know what I'm saying, guys? You need a license to buy a petrol car. Ireland is used as that sort of WEF, World Economic Forum hub. Everybody knows this, guys. Ireland is being used as this sort of like, you know, testing ground for the new sort of new world order type of thing. So let me know your thoughts on that one. I think it's absolutely crazy, you know, that they would focus their time on stuff like that and try and ban everything, which they do, guys. You know, we have no fireworks. We can't do anything in this country. No guns. It's just ridiculous. But let me know your thoughts. Make sure to smash that subscribe button. We're about to hit 100K. Also, grab a t-shirt, guys. County Gains Gang. You can represent. I love you all. Stay free. And I'll see you all in the next one, guys. Peace.